one thing, CL1B, right?
Yes, the Outboard.
The Outboard,
Okay.
right. I've seen you put or use a slower release for vocals.
Yes.
That's interesting to me because your vocals, to me, feel like they are more open and kind of that compression is kind of releasing and stuff like
Yes.
that. But I don't know if
Actually, I don't do that. I do the attack. I do slow,
Right.
Because the CL1B is very fast. If you leave it on all the way to the left,
Right.
that shit snaps
It's
on
clipping.
everything.
Right.
So I actually put the attack on like 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Which is like not it's slower, but it's still reacting.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because the thing is with outboard compression, you make a mistake there, you're fucked.
Right. It's
You know,
there.
because what are you? Oh man, I was compressing too much. Can you do it over? He's like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
That's the take, and then you're like, fuck. So I always do two on the ratio.
Okay.
I do very low ratios. I don't do the 4 dB ratio. I do in the 4-to-1. I do in Pro Tools.
Right. Yeah.
But for recording, 2-to-1.
Right.
And I do I'll get my compression, but I don't. If anything, I'll say this needs more compression because you can't go back.
Right.
And
right.
that's my thing is I never want to put myself in a position where I fucked up.
Right.
And this vocal sounds squashed, and
And now
then
you
after
can't
I've
change it.
adjusted it, and now the rest sounds different. Right. It's like that's where you really fuck yourself with stuff.
With your Pro C2 at the end, what is your, I know you're doing like a slower attack and stuff like that, but with that release, is it like medium or slow? I know, of course, it's case by case with each
It's case
song.
by case, but it's
Right.
roughly medium on both. Yeah,
Got
yeah.
you. So it's really like a glue kind of holding things
Yeah.
there. Okay. I always wanted to
Exactly.
know that because I'll be honest with you, when I listen to your vocals, it always throws me off because it sits so like, I'm right here in front of you, it stands
yeah.
there, but it's also still, I feel those quiet and loud
dynamics.
dynamics.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with the compression and stuff like that, are you doing any parallel compression?
I don't. Okay, so here's another
That's
fucking
crazy.
hot
Yo, I
topic.
like you, man.
I
love this.
don't. Okay,
I love
the
this.
only parallel stuff I do
Yeah.
is like, let's say I have an 808 and I want it to have like that buzz, right?
Yeah.
So I'll copy the 808, I'll squash the shit out of it, I'll EQ the low end out, and I'll put a distortion plugin on, and I'll parallel that underneath.
Gotcha.
That's the only. I don't believe, and again, opinion. I don't believe in parallel compression. If you wanted that shit to be punchier, fucking. Turn it up. Turn the bitch up. Like
interesting,
you know,
man.
like you. A lot of people. That's again. Some people it works for them.
Sure.
And so if it works for you,
Right.
by all means. I just don't find the need to parallel compress stuff.
Right.
It doesn't really work for me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I personally just don't like it.
Right.
You know, I'd rather throw an RVox on there and just bring it down a hair. Again, everything that I do, like when you see people use RVox, they'll bring that shit hella down.
Wow, yeah, they do
No,
wild
everything
out.
is in small steps, small moves, because then you get there, you know, a little bit better. When you do too much with one plugin, you kind of fuck shit up.
Right.
So my RVox, I'll bring it like it's up to the top or whatever. I'll bring it down to like -1.
And just let it kiss
And it just kind of kisses it, brings it
Right.
up just a hair. If I really needed to push, I'll bring it down a little bit more. But again, what does it need? What is it asking for?
Right, I understand.